Most of us know what condom is, but where does it come from, and when they were first used, and who invented them? The word condom is probably derived from Latin condus, meaning receptacle. Condom was invented by the English army doctor Colonel Condom in around 1645, and that the word is corruption of his name. Well, we do not know who actually invented condoms, but we do know that they were in use at that point of time. In ancient Egypt, a linen sheath was used as a protection against troublesome insects and tropical diseases. Chinese tried to prevent infection by wrapping oilskin paper around the penis. And the Japanese had leather and tortoise-shell sheaths. The Romans used tampons that had been dipped in the herbs and condom made of goat's bladder. In the 18th century, trade in condoms thrived in London. At the center of this activity were two ladies, Mrs. Phillips and Mrs. Perkins. They each had a condom shop and openly competed with each other in their pamphlets. Mrs. Phillips also ran a wholesale company on Half Moon Street on the Stand. The two women both had large stocks of bladder, sheaths and other contraceptives, which they sold to travelers and ambassadors. In 1839, Charles Goodyear discovered a way of processing natural rubber, which is too stiff when cold and too soft when warm, in such a way as to make it elastic. This had advantages for making condoms. Unlike the sheep's gut condoms, they could stretch and did not tear so quickly when used. Those very early rubbers had a seam and were as thick as an inner tube, so they could not have been very comfortable. Besides, this type, small rubber condoms covering only the glands, were often used in England and the United States. There was more risk of losing them, of course, and if the rubber ring was too tight, it would constrict the penis. A century later, it was hoped the invention of plastic and other man-made materials would lead to an improvement in the quality of condoms. That was not the case. What could be done, however, was something about the speedy deterioration of the rubber. Since that time, condoms have not only become thinner but also more reliable. In 1995, plastic condoms went on the market in the United States of America. The production of condom from latex is relatively simple and since 1920 has virtually remained unchanged. In the condom factory, a large vat is filled with latex and various chemicals are added to ensure the durability of the end product. Today, around the world, between 6 and 9 billion condoms are used each year. Experts agree the condom use can dramatically reduce the number of new HIV and STD infections each year.